Good evening, Federica. Lovely to
Good
see
evening.
you.
Lovely to see you
Thanks
too.
for joining us at Coravin Wine and Bubbles. And as you know, it's a chat about wine and women in wine. So as such, I'd love to ask you first, what is your current role in the world of wine?
I am the Vice President of the UK Sommelier Association.
Okay, that sounds
I
pretty good.
run courses and I train sommeliers. Then I teach wine and food pairing, wine tasting, and Italian wines because I'm Italian.
I know that you were born in Turin. Did a lot of your career start in Italy, which of course is famous for very many good wines?
Yes, I started studying wine, but I was doing a completely different job. I was a computer geek. I was doing virtual reality, 3D, very
Wow.
geeky stuff.
Interesting though. Okay.
And actually, I started just because it was nice to get out from my computer and do something fun.
Okay.
Probably in the beginning, I never thought about working in wine. It was just a passion that, of course, ran inside our veins. Wine is part of our culture. Then I just wanted to know more about wine.
Okay.
But then I moved to London, and here actually I decided to make it a career.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough then to have the opportunity to start studying. I started my course, my sommelier course in Italy.
Yeah.
But then here I started studying in order then to become a teacher, which is quite tough.
Yeah,
but,
I can imagine.
Fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Then,
So what does it entail? Do you get to basically go on a voyage around the world literally or just virtually tasting wines? Do you have
virtually tasting wine mainly. I
yeah.
traveled a lot
Yeah.
as well. Then, of course, it was important also to visit producers, but mainly understanding wine, which is the most important thing, especially if you have to teach wine tasting.
And how long does it take to become a qualified sommelier first and then become a teacher?
Our course is a 6 months course, then it's inclusive of all the different parts of the wine studies.
Yeah.
And of course, for teaching is a little bit more complicated. You have short courses, you have to prepare your lessons, you have to do extra exams, then is a longer process, a couple of years of studying.
And did you find that there were many other women on the courses with you?
Well, I started my course in Italy, and in Italy actually there's a lot of women in wine.
Yeah.
It's something that women do for fun, not to work as sommeliers.
Yeah.
Here you have a little less women, but some of them, they're studying wine and they want to work in the industry. I got students that started different type of careers, and I'm very proud of all of them, especially women.
Excellent. What do you think women bring to the world of wine? I don't know whether it's a kind of fact that we have a more discerning palate. I don't know if that's true.
Well, first of all, I have to say that science says, not me, that women, they have better nose and better palate.
There you go.
Then we are more sensitive about flowers, fruits, scents, and aromas. Then there's a science behind that.
Excellent.
And of course, being a teacher, I noticed that women, they want to achieve more. Men are a little bit more, I don't want to say lazy. I don't want to say that. But of course, I can see during the exam, for example, that typically the best students are women.
They might try
they
harder.
Want to show their passion. They're very diligent. They study a lot more.
Okay, so I think we can say women have the edge then, perhaps, when it comes to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So since you've become a teacher of sommeliers, have you noticed more and more women coming up through this world?
Actually, yes, because I started organizing courses 11 years ago.
Okay.
And in the beginning, let's say the class was divided in 60% men, 40%, 30% women.
Okay.
Now I think it's the opposite.
Okay.
60%, 70% sometimes women, 30% men.
Excellent.
And I'm very happy about that because I think women, they have this passion that comes from the heart.
Yeah. So obviously tasting a lot of wines involves drinking a little bit of wine and then maybe leaving a lot of wine. Coravin would seem to be an answer to not wasting wine, which is a crime and should be punished by law. So I'm taking it that you have used Coravin extensively in your career, at least
Yes,
in
well,
recent years?
yes, actually saved my life.
Okay,
Coravin.
wow, big statement. But yeah, okay.
Well, of course, when we do our classes at the course, we don't use Coravin because we open the bottle, and we have normally
Sure.
between 30 and 45
Yeah.
students. Then we don't need to
Yeah.
save the wine.
Yeah.
But actually, starting from 2020 and the pandemic, I started doing online courses because it was
Okay.
the only way to still communicate wine in this very
Yeah.
weird period.
Yeah.
And actually, I was doing 2 courses per week, and we were sending over the wine
Yeah.
to our students.
Yeah.
And I was getting a lot of wine. I was opening 12 bottles of wine
Okay.
per week. In at my home, I was living alone, then I was not sharing the wine, and it was a little bit too intense.
Yeah.
Of course, the pandemic was a tricky period, and drinking to forget the pandemic was not a good idea. And I finally bought my first Coravin because we
Okay.
had it in the association, but my first
As a
Coravin,
personal-
the needle one,
Yeah.
actually this one.
Okay, yeah.
And I was very, very happy.
Okay,
Yes.
so
And I
that-
was actually, I recommended Coravin to anyone
Yeah.
that did the course. I was explaining how it worked. I was
Yeah.
not sponsored, but I really appreciated the.
It's good. You don't have to waste anything. You can kind of come
Exactly.
back and find it tasted as good as when you opened it.
Exactly. No, it was.
Yeah.
It is a tool that, of course,
that
changed the world of wine.
If you had your last day on earth and you were allowed to enjoy one particular glass of wine before you slipped off this mortal coil,
Oh wow!
what would you have as your last wine?
Can I have 2?
I don't know.
Glasses.
Maybe as long as you don't mix them. Okay, go on.
It's just because as a sommelier, you know, you
Yes,
think about
of
a
course.
wine, a white, and a red.
Okay,
Because, like,
fair
you
enough.
create the
I think
balance.
we can allow it, Federica.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I would go probably first for, I would choose a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite champagne is a Port Roger. Then I like to, enjoy the toasty
Mm-hmm.
notes and the complexity, soft bubbles. And then because I'm from Piedmont, then of course I have to choose a very complex and fabulous glass of Barolo.
Of course.
Of course, I can't.
Deep and rich. I'm going to use those 2 words and hope that that is correct. But that would send you off in a gentle fashion.
Exactly.
Well, I hope the end doesn't come soon for you, Federica, but cheers and thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.